Hey, Mom, are you wondering when and how to discipline a toddler? Hey, Mom, are you wondering when and how to discipline a toddler, like a 2 to 3-year-old, without yelling or punishing them? You're not alone. And we're going to talk with you about some pretty magical ideas with you today that will give you and your toddler a chance to live in peace, joy, and happiness. And yes, it is possible. We're Bonnie and
Thomas Liotta.
Yes, we're the founders of Creating Champions for Life, and we work with families all over the world, helping them transform a very disruptive or chaotic environment into one of more harmony, peace, and healthy, happy, and cooperative kids. So if you get anything from this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe to our channel, and stick with us because we're going to take you on a magical and empowering journey as a parent. Now, not that long ago, I was a single mom of 4 kids, reading all the parenting books, following Super Nanny, using timeouts and takeaways to discipline my toddlers and young children. And what I ended up with by the time they were ages 6 to 12 was 4 kids who were not personally developed at all. Oh gosh, they were ransacking my house and each other, and literally, like, you can only do timeouts for so long and have them not work before you just give up, right? Then I met Thomas in 2011, and he literally changed everything for me. He saved my kids. He saved my sanity. We're going to share with you principles, not opinions, not what we think might work or might not work, and not theories from a book. So we've been on a journey to help parents and make a difference now for over 12 years. And I know we're going to say some things today or over the next few videos, actually, because we're going to do a series about toddlers, but we're going to say some things that might make you go, because it might be out of your comfort zone, because it would be the first time that you've ever heard these strategies before. But if you're looking for a way to have peace in your home and harmony with your children, I encourage you to watch the entire video and stick with us through this entire toddler series, because honestly, your world will be rocked in a way you can't even imagine right now. Thomas, do you have anything to share before I get into the content of what we're going to talk about today?
I would have to say there's one thing I would like to share is that let's cut to the chase of who's older, us or our kids. And obviously it's us. Who decided to have kids, us or them? And who is actually the leader, us or them? See, there's a universal principle called cause and effect. So in this relationship, who's the cause and who's the effect? You see, if we can see us as the cause, the child is a sound back effect, then that puts us in a power position.
So we want to get right into the content here today. So if there's anything that you want to know, like who are these people and why should I listen to them? All I want to say is I've been where you are, and I now have what you want, which is total harmony in my home and complete cooperation with my kids. But with all that being said, if you want to learn more, you can just click in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and that'll take you to a video that'll tell you our story a little bit better. So as I was preparing this video for you, I went to Google and I was like, how do you discipline a toddler? Because I wanted to know what information you would find. And what I came up with was absolutely,
let's just call it interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say mortifying, almost disgusting that this is the advice that's given to parents, because it's really setting you and your kids up for failure. And here's the advice that I found. It said that we must correct inappropriate behavior in the moment and praise positive behavior when we see it. Okay, we're talking about a 2 or 3-year-old. Now think about this. What does your 2-year-old actually know how to do? What have you taken the time to role play and act out and show them? Because, when a newborn baby is born, what skills are they born with? What do they actually know? Well, they know cry for the first few weeks, and then they begin to smile, because we have a 3.5-month-old grandchild right now, and her conversation looks like this. Just constantly, right? So she hasn't entered the time where she's talking back yet, or she's starting to tell us her feelings or what she wants. She's kind of in that sweet spot. We all wish they could go from 3 to 21 and know how the world works, right? So we want to break this statement down for you. So it says, correct inappropriate behavior in the moment.
Well, let's just break down the words that you're being told or you're looking to follow. Correct inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, like inappropriate to who?
Well, right. See, that's an opinion. Is that inappropriate to the 2-year-old, or is that inappropriate to the adult? You see, when it comes from the adult's perspective, they see, well, inappropriate. Would that be a positive or negative thing, Bonnie?
Yeah, negative.
Right. So the cause, the adult, is already bringing positive or negative to the table. Negative. And if it's inappropriate behavior, well, in the moment, you're in reactive mode. You're not in positive mode or proactive mode. So inappropriate, negative, reactive, negative, negative, and negative. If you put them together, how would that ever be positive ever? So It's already setting you up on the opposite side of the spectrum, which isn't smiles, it's more frowns.
Right. And then we're supposed to praise positive behavior when we see it. And I remember reading this when I was a mom with the 4 kids. And I was like, I've tried for 3 days to look for something positive to praise, and I just can't find anything. And here's why. I want you to picture a balloon. You blow up this balloon, and so you've got this energy. And so there's energy inside of a physical form. And then if you let the balloon go, it has no direction. And it just kind of goes like this all over the room and lands somewhere. And isn't that kind of like a toddler's mind? Because human beings aren't born like spiders, right? Like, we're not born with spider web making 101, knowing how the world works. And we need parents just to keep us behaved and keep us safe until we turn 18 and we can leave the nest.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we could flip the script and see what is inappropriate behaviors, let's go back to neutral first of, what if this little toddler is just like a little scientist just doing something? It's interacting with, what happens when I do that? What if it's starting to explore. So inappropriate behavior would be, well, that's the negative side. But what if we could tap into our leadership skills and go, look at that. I found, or I heard, or I see a little genius who's starting to embrace their own uniqueness. They're doing something, and they know that if they do something, they've got a big kid trusted advisor that would see them doing something like, wait a minute, you're showing me how you are starting to do something, because 9 times out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, they're starting to mimic. And that's a key thing, is instead of going something inappropriate, start off at neutral, and they're beginning to show you how they're doing it at their best level. And if you can remember when you were 2, you probably weren't the best at anything either.
Well, yeah, obviously we can't even remember what it was like to be 2. And as a 50-year-old woman, I'm like, I can barely remember what it was like to be a teenager. But I do remember this. My mom saying, oh, she can't sing, when I was just like 2 or 3 years old, running around the living room singing some sort of kid song. I do remember that. And I remember how it made me feel. So I want you to imagine this. You're at the sink and, you're doing dishes. Dinner's just happened. Your toddler is coloring and everything's going fine. And then all of a sudden you go to put dishes away. So you turn your back for a second and you hear all your wine glasses being knocked into each other. Ding, 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 ding. Now, that would be something that we as an adult would go, that's inappropriate behavior. We would come in and say, no, we don't do that, as a form of discipline. But I want you to think just for a minute, as we set a brand new magical foundation for you here, if this new perspective of how to look at a toddler, is the toddler going out of his way to misbehave in that moment? But we would look at it, okay, that's bad. We don't want them banging on our wine glasses, because we know that the glass can break and they can hurt themselves. But does a toddler know the repercussions of banging glasses together?
No.
And so if we were to come in that moment and go, no, that's bad, I want you to now imagine, how does the toddler feel as they're just doing something basically to show off? They're doing something, right? They're this balloon, this energy, just doing something in a physical form, has no idea how the world works. They come along, ding, 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 ding. Traditional parenting would be to come in and tell them no, take them away. If they do it again, we put them in a timeout. We're going to get right into the step 1, 2, 3, 4, but I want you to talk, Tom, about the psychology of a child. Now, Thomas has worked with thousands of children. I'm just going to give you a little insight that he had a martial arts school with an award-winning after-school program and developed a reputation for fixing inappropriate behavior with discipline, which is what we're going to break down next.
So if you see something that's inappropriate, yes, they take it and are going ding, 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 ding. So the perspective of the child is they're just doing something and they really don't know right from wrong or wrong from right. They're designed to grab, put things in their mouth, put their hands on everything, because they're starting to say, I'm in learning mode. Do you see me ready to learn? Because all I hear is what you don't want me to do and what you don't like. And I really don't know what that even means because I can't think opposites yet.
Right. So we're going to give you the step-by-step what to do in the next video. So stick with the series. But for right now, what we're doing is we're helping you see through new lenses. We're helping you see your toddler rather than through behavioral lenses, like they're acting inappropriate and they need some sort of consequence, to what's really going on is they need education and they need to be actually shown what to do in that moment.
If you go back to the 70s or the 80s and you looked in the dictionary, it would be a disciple. To be a disciple is someone who's ready to learn or in a teaching moment. But now if you look at it, it always says discipline is to punish. But if you look at discipline is a way to guide them into their greatness, not punish them into submission.
Yeah. And that's where we must begin with the end in mind. It's like parenting has got so off the mark, because if we took how we are being taught to parent and we applied it to anything else in the world, business, right? And so you do nothing proactive. You have the employees come in, you punish them when they do something wrong, and you threaten them with consequences. How successful would the business be? What about travel? Right? Oh, we're going to drive to California from Las Vegas, and you get in the car with no map and you just start driving west. And pretty soon you're just like completely lost, right? Because what do we do in business or with travel or with anything else is we sit down and we make a proactive plan. We begin with the end in mind. These are success principles that work in any undertaking, and it definitely works when it comes to parenting. And so the question is this: do you want a child who just minds what you say, follows directions, sits quietly at the table and colors, or sits in a chair and never talks back and never wants anything different than what you want for them, and they just sit, and as long as you don't hear from them, then you got a quiet kid or a good kid? Or do you want to be able to raise up a champion kid who is confident, solution-oriented, kind, cooperative, who has the skills of manners, how to sit properly at a table, how to make friends, how to go to school, how to sit in a chair, how to study, how to be successful in life? And if you chose the second one, if you could see that trying to raise just some compliant being who just sits on a chair is not the answer, but that we have a responsibility as parents to use discipline in more of what it used to be. Use discipline in the understanding that it's our job to guide and teach our children, to prepare them for the world that exists. Then I'm going to encourage you to, number one, click like on the video, share the video, and then, of course, watch the next video in the series, because we're going to give you the number one thing to do to empower your toddler's self-esteem, confidence, and ability to cooperate with you. And I'm really excited to do that, because what I would like to do right now is spray you in the face with a hose and tell you all the 12 principles of creating champions for life. But we're just helping you, number one, change your perspective so that you can receive what we're ready to share. We're so happy that you found this video at Creating Champions for Life, because what we're about to share with you in the next couple of videos with this toddler series, it's going to be magical. It's going to be life-changing for you. You might not see it right now, but if you stick with us, by the end of this series, your whole life with your child will be more empowered, more loving, more connected, and you'll just be more happier as a mom. Isn't that what we want at the end of the day? But if you're chomping at the bit for more right now, if you look over here, there's going to be a video at the top that'll be all about how to guide your child step by step. And then the one on the bottom is a long form video that shares more about Tom and I, our story, how we can help you best, and just keep you going on the path of parenting with empowerment while you wait for the next video. So
until we meet again, here's to your parenting success.